my head up in the clouds. I am searching for something, and I'm still hoping. 'Cause I wanna be in, not out. Wanna make this all count. Yes, I wanna go crazy now. Gonna make this all count. Feeling like a rock star, 'cause tonight I'm getting out of line and it's alright. Feeling like feeling like just as cool as John Wayne in his movies. Feeling like I'm James Dean and I know it. Feeling like feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star. Feeling like a rock star.
But it's not that easy. You're complicating things for me. No, it's not that easy. Maybe just a little time can heal me, but it doesn't feel the way. What are you doing to me? Why'd you break my heart? Left me in the dark, dark. Why'd you have to go? I don't wanna feel this way. I'm still breathing, it's not easy. I'm just a fool for you. I'm just a fool for you. Yeah, I'm just that stupid. Thought that we were meant to be. Yeah, I'm just that stupid. Maybe just a little time can make you change your mind about us. I thought that we were meant to be.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Sean. I'll be your host. Hope you're having a wonderful week. I'm having a really good week. I still can't breathe very well, so my allergies are still kicking. But it got down into the 30s this week in Nashville, so I'm so excited for the fall weather, and leaves are starting to change color, so I'm going to be getting some pretty cool drone shots in the next week or two. But yeah, how's everybody doing? I see we have Steven Drones in the house, and that's about it. Eat More Possum was here. So this is the pre-show, so nobody has to show up on time. I don't take attendance or anything. But let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. I hope you guys noticed that my countdown was different, and my logo up in the corner is different, and my call out to my social media is different. So I spent all week redoing all of my branding everywhere on my YouTube channel. Redid the intros and the outros for my videos, redid the countdown. So I didn't put out any videos this week, but one of the main reasons was I was getting my branding updated. Something else that means is I'm going to take down all of my merchandise off of the store and update it with a new look. I'm probably only going to put out one kind of logo t-shirt, and then the rest of the t-shirts that are kind of drone related, they'll stay up there, and I'm going to start doing some action camera related, just regular videographer, like video shooting, paraphernalia, and all that stuff. So yeah, Christmas season is coming up, so the rest of the year on my YouTube channel... Alexa, stop. Christmas time is coming up, so I'm going to be playing... I'm not going to be playing. I'm going to be making some videos about, gear that I've used, gear that is fresh and new, and I'm going to be pushing my Amazon store a lot over the next month or two. So yeah, we still have one person in here, so we're going to wait for a little while. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with my background on my other computer. So still playing with that a little bit. But I think overall things are starting to look pretty good. But yeah, so tonight we've got a video from Steven Drones. We've got 2 videos from Nacho Rolling. He sent me a folder with a bunch of videos in it, so I'm going to grab a couple each week and show them. So they're pretty cool. And then what we're going to talk about tonight is DJI. We're going to talk about action cameras in general. But there's rumors that DJI is coming out with Action 2. And I was going to crack a joke. I was going to say, in the next week or two, DJI is going to announce the Insta360 1R. But that's not really fair. But I do have the Insta360 1R. I want to show you guys. I've got the DJI Osmo Action. We've got the Insta360 Go 2. I even brought out one of my old Sony Action cameras. We've got the GoPro Hero 10. And we've got the GoPro Session. And so we're going to use all of those cameras to kind of predict what's going to happen with the DJI Action 2. And if it's worth buying the DJI Action 2, or is it worth buying the Insta360 1R? It really depends on what you want to do with it. I will say, if all of my predictions are correct, I think if the camera by itself acts like the Insta360 Go, where it has like 30 minutes of charge on it by itself, then all of the FPV players out there have their new session. FPV flyers for years have been wanting GoPro to make another session because it was wonderful for FPV, especially if the GoPro Session had today's stabilization and it weighed less, a little bit less, it would be the perfect FPV camera. So I'm hoping that the dual display mod that goes on the DJI Action 2 is a battery charger and charges the little camera, and then you can use the little camera by itself. That is my hope. But we're going to look at some close-ups of some of the leaked footage or leaked pictures that we've seen all over the interwebs. And hopefully I'll give credit where credit's due. I don't want to plagiarize anybody else's stuff, but I have a couple concerns. One of my concerns is it looks like the connections are magnetic. So one of my concerns is that it won't be waterproof, because it doesn't look like there's any sealing between it and it. From the pictures that I've seen, there's like 6 little electrodes that are always displayed. Now there is like a little GoPro mount that I've seen, and that might make it watertight. Just like the Insta361R is not watertight by itself, but once you put the frame around it, it is watertight. So they may have done the same thing with the Action 2. But we're going to get into that once more people show up. So everybody has changed their name on their Amazon device to computer. That's probably good, but I do say computer a lot too. So maybe I need to change it to I don't know. I forget what the options are. But yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, so I want to play you guys my new intro, and I want to see your opinion on it. So this is the new intro that's going to be on my videos. And I was in luck because on Epidemic Sounds, when I was trying to find an audio clip for my new intro, I found a remixed version of the audio that I used on my last intro. So it's kind of like I freshened my logo with kind of a new upbeat version, but it was the same chord progression. So I was really excited about that. And then in the outro, I go a little bit further, and it does a little bit, it's got kind of a cool little beat. So check this out. So I think that's pretty cool. So I spent all week on those 2 short little videos. No, not really. I was doing a lot of slicing graphics and really coming up with a new brand. The font I'm using is Spartan. It's a Google font, so I was able to put that font on my website. I was able to use that font on, I was able to download it to my computer and all that kind of stuff. So, and the background graphics this time is the quick shot of the neighborhood behind my house. So I blurred that up, and it has kind of a nice little rotation with my logo on top of it, and my logo is kind of coming in, so I thought it all worked really well. And then I found this background for my computer that is Pac-Man, so it kind of fits with my, my colors. Not exactly, but close enough. So I thought that turned out really cool. So yeah. So it's 6:52. At 7 o'clock, we're going to play videos from Steven Drones and Nacho Rolling. And then after that, we are going to go on DJI's website and look at the kind of intro video of the new action camera that they're about to come out with. And then we're going to look at leaked photos all over the web. So, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and start looking those up. Do you guys have any predictions on the DJI Action 2? And if so, are you planning on getting one, or are you going to pass? Let me know your thoughts. We got some good pictures here I just found on Drone XL. That's good. So let me know your thoughts on that. Okay. I do have one more prediction that I want to add that I just saw. So, yeah. Steven Drones has enough stuff. Eat More Possum doesn't have a use for it. Unless it's lighter than it looks. Let's see if there's any specs on it that someone has. And this is the last time, this is the last night that we could speculate, because it should be announced at 9 a.m. in the morning. So, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and play videos from Steven Drones and Nacho Rolling. I've taken all the sound off on them this week because I didn't know if Nacho's videos, if the sound was okay to use or not. But we're going to play them. He's talking in one of them, but I just killed that. So I wish Nacho was here to watch his own videos and comment on them, because I had some questions for him. But this is Steven Drones, and I believe this is week 16 of the Amazon build. So it's not at sunset. I can see the shadow of his drone down there. So it looks to be, I don't know, maybe Well, there's a hard shadow, so it's hard to tell. I was wondering why the flags are half-mast. I was noticing flags all weekend were half-mast, and I see one of them is half-mast and the other one's kind of down a little bit. But it looks like they've laid some gravel. Whoa, they've laid the parking lot. There is tar on the parking lot, so you know where people are going to park now. It's interesting that they laid that first. I would think you'd want to do that at the last minute so that you can, you don't tear it up. Because to me, tar is pretty fragile. I can see a pool back there. Very cool. Got some plumbing going on. It looks like a dusty day. Some of the last few videos have been kind of muddy, but this one looks really dry. Well, kind of dry. It's really interesting to me that they already laid that parking lot. I would think one of the guys on the bulldozers would accidentally drive over it and break it. And somebody messed it up with paint, looks like. Someone's been doing donuts in it. So Stephen Jones said this was taken at 11 a.m. So pretty close to noon, which was what I was thinking. Stephen Jones said today they have another half done, so I'm assuming the rest of the parking lot's done over there. So that's it. Looks like they're about to lay some concrete. We've got that grid down. Very cool. So that was week 16 with Stephen Drones on the Amazon warehouse build. And then we're going to play some videos from Nacho rolling. So this was taken with his dash cam. And there's his cross tech. And he said it was Badlands is where he was driving. So I think this is a pretty cool video. I think the dash cam is pretty stable. There's another shot of his beautiful car. And then here's a little bit more of his driving. There's another shot of his car. I like those lights on the side. More from the dash cam. Y'all are probably bored of my commentating. I think it's a beautiful landscape. Little Nicky in the back seat. So yeah, that was the dash cam on Nacho Rolling's Cross Tech going across the Badlands. And then here's another one. This one's titled Mount. He's got a little drone action in here. I can't remember exactly what drone he has now. I think he might still have the DJI Mavic Pro. And just the camera fell off of it. Stephen Jones says, don't run out of gas there. Heck no. We were on our way to Disney World, and there was this big sign on the toll road that said, last gas station for 40 miles. And I was like, man, that's a great sign to have, because it would really suck to run out of gas somewhere. But yeah, those are beautiful shots from Nacho. Nacho's, whenever he does travel the country, he gets some really, really cool video and pictures of where he's at. So, let's get into our action camera presentation. So, I think I'm going to need to blow my nose. So I'm gonna switch to this, and I'm going to blow my nose real quick. Let's try that again. So this is the DJI Osmo Action. When the DJI Osmo Action came out, I believe it came out 2 years ago. Everybody had mixed feelings about it. A lot of the DJI fanboys were like, DJI's coming out with something that's never been done before. And when I saw it, I was like, I've kind of seen that before. What was groundbreaking about the DJI Osmo Action is they had a screen on the front. That's about it. Everything else is pretty much the same. It's definitely heavier than a GoPro. The GoPro Hero 10 is supposed to be like the heaviest GoPro out, and the DJI Osmo Action still is heavier than it. So there's that. So it wasn't really made to be light or be put on a drone, and it was one of those things that, why is DJI getting into the action camera business? But it's a really good camera. It has a nice big screen on the back. It has a GoPro style frame. Another thing that was really cool was the lens would screw off. So there's that. And I think you can get replacement lenses. I've never really had to replace my lens that much. So, but it was really, really cool. There was some innovations with the LEDs coming through. One of the issues with it was the front camera, or the front screen had lag on it. So, and even the back screen would lag. So it was really hard to follow the action, because the action was happening faster than you could catch up with it. But I've used this camera on blogs. I've put it down in places and recorded B-roll with it. So it's a wonderful camera. The next thing I want to talk about is innovative designs in action cameras. This is the Sony, and it's actually called the Sony Action Cam. This one only shoots 1080, but I love the design because whatever you're pointing at people is a tiny footprint. So you don't have this big old honking thing in your shot. If you're shooting with two cameras, you just have this tiny little thing. And it had all these awesome little accessories that came with it. There was a 4K version of this. What I love about this is I would put this on top of my camera. So I got this camera back when I was shooting, marketing pictures for gas station Mapco here in Nashville, and I would put this camera on top. And I would film while I was taking pictures, and then that would give me, a nice little, I could video. So I'd take a picture, and then I would get like a little pan shot, and then I'd take another picture, and wherever I point this lens, I knew this lens was pointing in the same direction. So that's what I would do in that scenario. What's up, Julio? Welcome to the chat. One we're talking about action cameras tonight. The other thing that I want to talk about is the GoPro Session. This is the camera that you either loved or you hated. When GoPro came out with the GoPro Session, people were like, why'd you take the screen off of the camera? Like, what can I do with that? And they didn't understand that the idea of just putting a camera somewhere and just letting it film life and you not filming through it. So what I would do with the GoPro Session is this would be kind of like my hidden camera. Okay? If I had another GoPro and I was shooting in this direction and I had this GoPro Session, I could hide this GoPro Session in places that you couldn't even see it, and I would be able to get multiple angles without having a camera and a tripod sitting over there in the corner. So that's what I love about this form factor. And there's been several FPV camera manufacturers that have duplicated this form factor in theirs, in their design. The other thing I want to talk about is the Insta360 Go 2 and the Go. These are tiny little cameras that hold a little bit of juice, but they're tiny, so you can put them on your head. You can put them on your head, or you can put them, on your necklace, or walk around. I saw a guy walking around Disney World like this the whole time. He was filming with his. He kind of looked funny, and if you're watching, I'm sorry, but he was kind of just pointing his tiny little Insta360 Go, which I don't think that's what this is meant for, but it is what it is. So there's that, and then along comes modular. Insta360 came out with the 1R series, and what the R series was it was a camera, then it was a screen and brain, and then it came with a battery. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to switch over to, and if you put it in a frame, it's completely waterproof, but I'm going to switch over to this because I want to show you guys something. So this is the Insta360 1R. This is the GoPro edition. Okay, this is just like a GoPro, but it has Insta360's stabilization, Insta360 software, all that kind of stuff. So, in pictures, and I'll show you in a minute, it looks like it's this camera minus the battery. That's a battery. Instead of the battery. So all the pictures that I've seen have looked like this. Okay, so I want you guys to look at this. Look at this picture. Look what I have here. Let me get the fingerprints off. I could hold this up right now and put a thumbnail saying check out the new DJI Action 2, and people would jump on it thinking I had a DJI Action 2. Okay? And I will show you why. I'm going to share. I'm going to share that. It's not a perfect match, but I mean, the resemblance is uncanny, y'all. Now, they're not exactly the same. They're not. But let's go through some of the design elements, and I want to show you what's going on. The other thing I want to show you is just this little video. This is the intro video, and it is 2 cubes being modular and ripped apart. And you can tell by the background that it's magnetic. Okay? That is definitely a magnet Easter egg. Okay? So here is a close-up image. So we're going to go here. This is kind of what's on the box that's been leaked, and this is definitely the box. Okay? And this is called the dual screen combo. So it looks like they're going to come out with different versions of it, but we'll see what happens. DJI has a tendency to come out with a base model and then a kind of fly more combo, but they came out with like an artistic version of the DJI Pocket 2. So I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. You can't see my mouse. That's not good. So if you look underneath the camera module on the Insta360, there are these big pockets and large connectors that snap into each other. And the reason they did that is partly to make it waterproof, and partly to take the user, to make it really user-friendly, so that it only fits a certain way. Whereas on the DJI Action 2, let's see if that's the name of it. Yeah, the DJI Action 2. It has grooves and snaps that snap it into place, which are more like the battery part of the Insta360 1R. So the 1R, the battery snaps in place. So it'll be interesting to see what the battery life is on this, and all of that, and what the specs are on this camera. If it's still just a 4K camera, if it's a 4K camera and it's half the size of the GoPro, then I think it'll be a good camera. If it does the same thing as this, but it's only 4K, and this one shoots in 5K, 5.2K, then it's kind of a downgrade in my opinion. But we'll have to see, exactly what happens, because you can see that there's 2 snaps. All those pins, the pins look to me like the tiny little camera part is not waterproof, but I could be mistaken. But if those are electric connections, if those are metal connections, maybe there's a cover that snaps on or something like that. But it doesn't look like it's waterproof. And it looks like something else can snap into the bottom of it. That might be the GoPro Mount, but we'll see. Here's a close-up of it snapping together, and here's some of the UI, which is pretty cool. Now the battery indicator is on the screen, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Yeah, we've got pictures of what's going on, but not much of a description. Now, if you guys can see, there's a big dot underneath the lens right there. And there's the 8 electrodes. So, in my opinion, the top left corner has the LED that lets you know that it's recording. It probably has multiple colors, but I'm not sure about that. Then the bottom right corner has a hole. So in my opinion, that's a microphone hole. Then it looks like there's a sensor right underneath the lens. So that sensor might detect light But if you've watched any of the latest videos on the new DJI Osmo Cinema camera that it came out with, the Osmo 4D, maybe Ronin 4D, it has LiDAR on it, which is a new, it's kind of like radar, but it uses light to detect distance. So that might be a focusing thing. I don't know. But it would be really cool if that's what that is. Chances are it's just light, you know, it just will detect, you know, ambient light, but it might be LiDAR. I don't know. That's just my speculation. That's me dreaming. Let me see if he says anything here. This website is Drone XL, so I don't want to plagiarize or anything like that. So you guys can go. You can see the URL in my video. So you can definitely go there on your own if you want. I'm going to click on this. These are the specs. So this morning, DJI Action 2 price, specs, and photos were found on Conrad and shared on Medium. So magnetic versatility. It looks like it's 4K 120 frames per second. Super wide field of view, portable and wearable. So it looks like it's a combination between these two cameras. So they love taking wonderful ideas from Insta360. So we got the Go, which is a wearable camera, and we've got the Insta360 1R, which is a modular camera. It looks like there's a necklace, and it's magnetic, so it looks like you can wear a necklace and then put this, snap this onto your to your screen, right? In here there is, I wish y'all could see my mouse, man. I showed the wrong screen. But you can see that there is a GoPro mount. And from what I've seen, it's about this size, but like half as thick, I think. Excuse me. I hate allergies, y'all. I hate them. I'll be so glad when all this junk is out of my face. So it's lightweight, alloy body, sleek minimalistic look, and smooth and solid feel. Magnetic locking design allows you to interchange accessories quickly. The shape and angle of the lens carefully considered for optimal performance and beauty. Blah blah blah. Marketing. So the field of view is 155 degrees. It has f-stop at 2.8. And it looks like the sensor is 1/1.7 inches. I think it's funny. DJI Action 2 reaches never before seen heights with its capability to shoot 4K 120 frames per second. I'm just saying. Never seen before. It's got a super wide view. It's got horizon steady, so it has it has good stabilization. This was the original stabilization, so it's probably a second version of the stabilization that's on here. GoPro Hero 10 has gone through four iterations of its stabilization, and I think its 360 is about as stable as you can get. But there's a video on my YouTube channel where I compared the GoPro Hero 9, I believe, Insta360 1R, and the DJI Osmo Action. So if you want to check that video out, you can definitely see the difference in how each company handles stabilization. Insta360 handles stabilization from a 360 standpoint, so they've been stabilizing the entire world, whereas GoPro and GoPro has also looked at their stabilization from a 360 standpoint because they have the Fusion and the Max. DJI has not put out a 360 camera, so the DJI Action and the Action 2, their stabilization is coming from the standpoint of their DJI FPV drone and their gimbal, their gimbals. So they're trying to emulate gimbals with their stabilization, whereas Insta360 and GoPro, they handle their stabilization based on a 360 degree horizon, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes much sense to y'all, but it's just the different worlds that these companies are coming from. They're all kind of meeting in the middle, but they have different views on things. So that's just all I wanted to say there. Drop proof, dust proof, and waterproof at depths up to 10 meters. So that's pretty good. And the touchscreen and lens constructed of Gorilla Glass. It's durable and tough. So time lapse, slow motion, digital zoom. That's nothing new. So the snap-on front screen module puts you at the center of attention, designed with vloggers in mind, front-facing OLED touchscreen, 4-mic matrix system, lets you compose videos and capture crisp audio, so that's good. Action 2's battery life is increased to a maximum of 160 minutes when filming. So 160 minutes, what is that? 120 is 2 hours. So 2 hours and 40 minutes. I guarantee you it's when it's plugged in. So we've got a little footprint of 3. Let's see what 3 means. Maximum battery life was achieved when recording video at 1080, 30 frames per second. Power reserve mode with electronic image stabilization disabled and under lab conditions. I love it I love the fine print. I was in marketing for years, and I used to hate just lying to people. That's why I get out of marketing. So, intelligent audio. It's got audio zoom, which is cool, and directional audio, which is wonderful. Directional audio lets you point. It only records audio from the direction it's filming from, or you might be able to switch it to the back camera. So if you're talking but you're pointing the camera at something, you can point the microphone at you while you're talking, to get a crisper audio. But having a four mic matrix is great because the software can really pick where the best audio is coming from. I missed Julio's comment where people look at him strange when he walks around with his stick and his Theta 360. That's really funny. So here we go. So the DJI Action 2 power module. A boost when you need it. Get more of the DJI Action 2 with the power module. When connected, the Action 2 gains a micro SD card slot and can film up to 180 minutes. So 40 more minutes. It's even hot swappable, so you can keep filming without missing a beat. Okay, so it has an SD card. So the small camera apparently does not have an SD card. That's what I learned from reading that statement. And the SD card is actually on the is actually in the battery module. So that's interesting. So what do you get in the box? You get an Action 2 camera unit, one power module, one magnetic lanyard, which is a necklace that you could snap your camera onto, one magnetic adapter mount, and one power cable. Okay, here we go, the specs. So it's waterproof up to 10 meters, 60 meters within the waterproof case. Dimensions are 39 by, what is that? I hate millimeters. So 1.5 inches. Where are we at? So So 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch. That's tiny. That's the size of it, and it's thinner than that. It's about half that. Well, it's less than that as far as the width goes. 56 grit. Dang. .12 pounds. So I think a gram is a paper clip. So 56 paper clips. So Eat More Possum, if you're still in here, how does that rate against the SMO 4K as far as weight? Let's see how much the GoPro Session weighed. .6 ounces. Okay, so it weighs less than this, but not much. So about 6 ounces, no, 0.6, about half an ounce less than this. All right. Okay, so the SMO 4K, which is a naked version of this, according to Eat More Possum, is 30 grams. So Eat More Possum, we need a naked Osmo 2 is what we need. Actually, yeah. I think it'd be cool just to put an Osmo Pocket on the FPV drone and make a naked version of that. How cool would that be? Alright, so let's get into this. Field of view, we already talked about that. The camera specs. Max photo resolution 4000 by 3000, that's pretty good. 4 times digital zoom. Photo resolution 12 megapixels. Video resolution is only 4K. But that's okay. Especially if it's going to be a version of that. Let's see what that is. So about $500 is what, according to this website, Drone XL. So that's pretty interesting. That's interesting. I found This is a Chinese website, and they had a good picture of it, but we already pretty much looked at the pictures. So yeah, so what do you guys think? If it could, so to me, what they've done is they've made this a little bit smaller, which is great. I'm super pumped because I've always wanted a new GoPro Session. So if this is the new GoPro Session, then I'm definitely buying it, because I love the form factor. And I don't want to be creepy, so don't take this in the creepy way. But I love being discreet when I'm filming. And it's not because I want to sneak in a video clip, or I don't want to, spy on people, or get, get really close and personal. That's not what I want to do. But I love getting multiple angles, especially shooting like unboxings for you guys and stuff like that. I would love to put a second camera on the table pointing at the product that I'm opening up and talking about, without you seeing this big camera on a tripod pointing at something. Half of my videos is trying to hide the other camera. I'd love to take this camera, and I would love to take this camera and put it on a drone and point it in a different direction. I would love, sometimes I like to talk to you guys from my car. And so I'd love to put this little camera up without driving by a police officer and having this big rig in my car. I would love to go to a theme park like Disney World and be able to film what's going on without people ducking under the camera, or people looking straight at the camera wondering what I'm doing. Or, I like to film things in their natural habitat, and if people don't know that there's a camera, they act natural. But as soon as people know there's a camera there, they start checking their hair, they start avoiding the camera, they start walking away, and then it gives me a bunch of unusable shots, which I don't like. I also film students at youth camp, and what's cool about filming students at a youth camp when I have my big Canon C100 is that everybody knows the camera guy's coming, so they smile, they're happy because they know they're going to show up on camera. But I would love to film them during worship, or film them when they're praying with each other, or film them times that you don't want to be. I don't want them putting on a show when I'm filming them. I want them to be natural. There are times when I really want to be natural. Another example, I was talking with my mother today. One of her friends is kind of on their deathbed. We don't know whether or not they're going to die or not. But, being able to film the funeral for, especially this last couple years with COVID, I had to live stream one of our funerals because nobody would show up because, they were afraid they were going to get COVID-19. So, I live streamed the funeral so the family could be there. I would love to have a tiny discreet camera so that I'm not, I don't look like, I don't mess up the mood of the situation. Same with like weddings. I have a friend of mine got married this weekend, and she is a photographer by trade, and she photographs weddings. And she made a comment last week about there better not be anybody sticking their phones up in the aisle, taking a video of the bride walking down the aisle while the people that she paid to video and photo can't do it because everybody's got their dang phones up in the air, right? But this little camera is something that I could just, it's so discreet that I could literally just sit it on the pew and nobody would ever notice it. Or I could sit it on the table and nobody would notice it. Even though it's tiny, it's bright white and it is not discreet. This is probably the most discreet camera I've ever had. Besides like the little pinhole cameras that are pretty much spy cameras. This camera was discreet, but it recorded 4K video. Just a wonderful little camera. I used this when I drove Uber. There's another example. Uber. I had this in my car when I drove Uber, and I had all black interior. I had what was it? Dodge Caliber. It was a black Dodge Caliber, and all the interior was black plastic, and this camera blended right in with the interior, so I could put that camera up there, and if I got attacked or someone threw up in my car or anything like that, I had video surveillance of the inside of my vehicle for my protection. And a lot of drivers for ride sharing have cameras in their car for that very reason. Some people get assaulted because you're driving people that are drunk at night. Most people that get in the car on a late Friday night are drunk, and they called an Uber because they weren't going to drive because they were planning on getting drunk. So with a discreet little camera, you can record those kind of moments. So if all of the predictions that we read about tonight are true, and that little detached camera can record 4K for 2 hours, then I'm super stoked about it. Very, very stoked. This camera, I think, definitely will record better video, just because they didn't spend all of their time cramming technology into a tiny little package. Like, this package has a little bit more room to breathe. But if you look at this, it's a screen on the front. It's a screen on the back. If you take the two screens out, you can make this a lot smaller than it is. So yeah, I think that is the end of my presentation on action cameras tonight. Looking forward to tomorrow morning when they announce the new DJI Osmo, or the new DJI Action 2. And if it's going to be $500, I'm about $100 shy of getting it. I just bought a smartwatch that I'm going to be reviewing on my channel, but yeah. So we've got Julio in the house. We got Fox Fader. I forgot to say hi to you. Welcome, Fox. Good to see you in the house. And I think that just about concludes the show for tonight. Looking forward to that. Something that we can talk about, I don't want to get too in depth, but it is kind of blowing up YouTube the last couple days, was the announcement of the Ronin 4D. So what are your thoughts on the Ronin 4D? Do you guys even know what it is? It is basically a very expensive cinema camera, but it's kind of the first of like the quality of the cinema camera. It's the first of its kind, but it definitely takes from an Indigo project that I could not find, but I've definitely seen this entire design before. But DJI, they've kind of perfected all of this technology, so their the Ronin 4D is going to be a beast, but nobody will be able to afford it. So I would love for someone to take, I would love for Canon to take this and go with it. But yeah. Julio's asking how the Inspire 1's doing. The Inspire 1 is just sitting there. I'm planning on getting the GoPro Hero 10 on it, and possibly the Action 2 on it in the next month, several months. But as for now, it's just kind of been sitting there. We went on family vacation, and I've been changing my branding, and people have stopped working where I work. We've had a couple people on our team quit, so I am working extra hard at work. So yeah. For those of you, we got Fox Fader, we got Julio in the house. I could show you guys my new designs. I'm going to be. I took my logo and I turned it into a. I've got two different blades, and I'm going to show a Figma file to you guys. Figma is what I use to design. So this is kind of the new logo. Let's see. And what I've done is I've taken my my 3 shutter design and I've converted it to a 3 prop blade design. And this is modeled after the Avon. Is it Avon? I always get this wrong. But it's the blades that come on the little tiny hawks. And I also have a, or it's like Avant, but it's a 3 blade FPV blade for tiny little drones. And I just love the style of the blade. I love the little batarang little point on it. So I've got that version of my logo, and then this is I traced the DJI FPV drone, and that's kind of where I got the white tips and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted a sticker that had Sean Eyed Studios on it. The stickers in the past have just been this icon. So I wanted to adjust my word mark, so I'm going to be ordering these stickers, and we'll be giving them away in the next couple months on the channel. Oh, speaking of giveaways, I have not sent stickers to Eat More Possum, Nacho Rolling, and Steven Drones. I have completely spaced on that, y'all, so I will get your information after this show. I promise. Actually, if you could, send me your information right now if you're listening. So anyway, that's that. And I'm planning on making like t-shirts and stuff like that on it with it. What am I doing? Does your mouse ever get stuck on a screen and you can't get it over to the other screen? That's what just happened. But yeah, so that was the show tonight. Hope you guys liked it. If you guys are watching on the replay, thanks for watching. Hope you guys like this live stream. Let me know in the comments what kind of live streams you would like to see me do. I'm really good at tutorials. I'm really good at thinking outside of the box, and I'm not a fanboy of anybody in particular. So there's that. My mantra is honest, creative, and outside of the box. So yeah, there's that. So hope you guys like this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel as always. To see more videos, click on the bells. so you'll be notified when I do that. And yeah, y'all have a wonderful week, and I will catch y'all on the next video. Peace out.